Everybody, hey, everybody, hey, everybody, hey, 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 everybody. So, I'm just going to come up here today and chop it up and cut it up with you guys. The outreach team will not be joining me today. These are the private thoughts of Johnny. So today is a very special segment. Again, you're going to be spending an hour with moi. So welcome to my space, welcome to my zone, and feel privileged to be invited to my space and my private thought and my thoughts and things like that. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. First and foremost, before we get started, you know how I do. If you are watching this live, please like, please share, please like and share. Yeah. Is that why I say something else? Like this live and share this live with your peeps. I like to be shared. So I'm gonna give out a couple of minutes to kind of come on and watch me. Again, I ain't really talking about nothing. I'm talking about the changes that we got going on. Talking about where we're at in the community, things we got coming up in the community, where you can find us, and where you and how you can book us if you need us. So first and foremost, my name is Johnny. I work here at Rain, and I am part of a collective of individuals, unique individuals that go out into the community and provide HIV and STI, as well as healthy sexual education, and testing. We also provide, we also provide information forms, like things like this. We also do community events. We also are at clubs, a presence at clubs. We also hold a presence at different expos and health fairs. So those are some of the things that we kind of get ourselves into and dive into. We also are out on the street at 2 o'clock in the morning, outreaching to individuals as well. You know, you can find us there on Sugar Creek, Beattisford, what is it? Woodlawn. You can find us in those spaces as well while when we out there passing out condoms and lube and outreaching to our community. So, but you know what we do. I'm not here to advertise that. You guys know what we do and where we at. So I want this to be a interactive day. So if you're watching, I need you guys to participate in the comments. Please don't be shy. I'm going to be asking a couple of questions, and I just kind of want your participation. So please don't be shy. Don't be shy at all. Again, I'm gonna give you some time to kind of answer when I ask the question. So if I go silent, I'm just waiting for you guys to start typing on your phones or your computers or wherever you're watching at. I want to know what is the best place for you to process information? I'm asking that question again. What is the best place for you to process and go through information? I'm gonna give you an example of my place. Every morning that I wake up, I take a shower. And in that shower, I am literally brainstorming, writing, journaling in my head. I'm going through everything from the week before to this week to yesterday to today, how my day is going to go, my agenda for the day, what I got planned. My showers are always 2 hours long because of that. I'm in the shower thinking about I'm in the shower thinking about life. I'm in the shower thinking about death and the planets and the moon. And in that argument that I had with such and such 3 weeks ago. Have you ever been in the shower and you practice an argument? Y'all, don't tell me I'm alone. Don't leave me by myself. Don't leave me by myself. Have you ever been in the shower and practiced an argument? Or been in your room and practiced an argument? Come on, y'all. Give me something. Give me something. If you're watching, give me something. Give me something. I see y'all. I see the views on here, so I know y'all watching. Give me something. Have you ever been in a situation where you had to practice an argument before the argument took place? Come on, y'all. Somebody. Hello. I see y'all here. I will practice an argument like it's like I'm crazy and start answering to myself and start anticipating what the person's going to say. So I already have a comeback ready to go. No, not on paper. Oh, you do. So you do it on paper. um, I be in my room like going off, like to the point where it looks weird if somebody's watching from the outside of my house. I am practicing an argument. It's funny. It's so funny. Um, I'm again. I'm gonna wait for y'all to kind of tell me what y'all. I mean, I got people commenting. I got some LOLs in there. I got some on paper in there. Let me know, how do you process information? Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. And I be wanting to play music in my background, but Facebook and all of them platforms are so sensitive now where they start blocking my live, and I'm like, I don't got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. And y'all are playing in my face today. Y'all are not on here communicating with me, and I don't like it. Figure it out. Um, I was strolling on Facebook today, and I noticed somebody made a comment or a status, and every time I get a quiet moment, you're practicing an argument. I actually believe it. uh, or maybe that's when you're processing information. That's what you're saying. Every time I get a quiet moment, that's when you're processing information. Um, so I was strolling through Facebook today, and I don't want to misquote, so I'm about to find it right quick. Give me a second to find it. But it is funny. One of my friends. Hold on one second. Let me find this comment. Okay, so the comment says, once I pay the tab at the restaurant, go ahead and start getting horny, boo. My friend posts some of the most controversial statuses I've ever seen in my whole entire life, and it'd be so funny. Let me say this. I know the political correct answer is, oh my gosh, you're not entitled to somebody's body because you pay for the rest, you pay for the meal, blah. I totally get it. I know that is the correct answer, the correct, thought process behind that statement. But let's be real. A lot of times when people are taking these people out on these dates, when they spending some cash, cold hard money, that they are looking for a nice return, a reward at the end of the night. I think we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. And if I'm spending, hey Regina, if I'm spending some money, um, you need to figure it out and figure out what's taking place tonight. Get your body and stuff ready because you already know. Especially if I'm telling you, oh yeah, after dinner, we're going back to my spot and we're going back to my place and about to buy. I'm already setting the scene. So before I pay for this meal, you need to already let me know what you're trying to do. I'm just joking. No, I'm not. Um, You know what? No, honestly and truly, people don't even know how to date anymore. I think that we've gotten so conditioned to ask somebody what they doing 624 times a day that we don't have nothing to talk about. Um, when is the when what do you and your partner right now, the person that you're with right now, what do you guys have in common? Ask yourself that question. I'm gonna tell you something before I even get started tonight. Again, I told you I'm gonna be as sporadic as hell tonight. I'm not. There is no blueprint. I'm not. I'm not. I don't got nothing written down. I'm just talking and shooting the shit with you tonight, because that's what this show is about. Private thoughts of Johnny. So it's gonna be as random as hell, as authentic as I'm random today. But when is what do you and your current partner have in common? I'm gonna give you some time to think about that. What do you and your current partner have in common? And if I'm sorry, have in common. And if it's not your current partner, what do you and the person that you are dating have in common or talking to? What do y'all have in common? I'm not talking about no surface. Oh, we like the same food and blah. What do y'all actually have in common? What do y'all have in common? I mean, if you feel the not to answer me in the chat, I totally get it. I'm fine. You probably don't have nothing in common anyway, or you have not communicated you guys common interests yet because you've been wetting what you're doing all day every day. But I think that's something that we have to ask ourselves. I think maybe um, hey Regina, how you doing? Oh, okay, we single. If you say so. Bad boy. Make me feel so good. So Pride wrapped up in yes, she said Regina said she's single and she looking. Y'all better hit Regina up. um so our Pride month came to an end June the 30th. And I was online and I was listening to some people's coming out stories or horror stories that they had regarding them, being a part of the LGBT community. Um, one of the things that I like to talk about, or one of the things that I often talk about a lot is my experience and my coming out story. It's pretty unique. One of the things that I am fortunate for and I don't take for granted is the fact that I didn't have to go through a lot of trauma surrounding my sexual orientation. Um, I often cringe when I hear the stories of my friends that are a part of the LGBT community, hearing some of the things that they had to go through and the struggles that they went through. And I'm so fortunate that I did not have to go through those, half of those, not even a quarter of it. And not just yesterday, I learned that one of my friends, good friend of mine, um, at a very I think that friend is about in his early 30s now. But they came out when they was a teenager. And upon them coming out, their dad responded in a manner of I want to go home. I want to take you home with me, get you on your knees so you can pray. After you finish praying, I'm going to shoot you and kill you so that you're not living in your so the point of you praying is so that you can be forgiven, and so that and I'm going to shoot you and kill you so that you won't go on and continue and you won't go on and continuously living in sin for the rest of your life. So instead of you even you know, I guess the thought process was a blind or falling into temptation. um I'm going to shoot you and I'm going to kill you, so that you don't have to worry about that, and I know that you're going into heaven. Um, I actually heard their story this morning as opposed to yesterday, and it made me think to my experience and my story and things like that, and it made me say to myself, "Wow, I didn't have it hard at all." And of course, everybody's experience and everybody's experience is different, and some people can handle different things, and it may not be much to them. But you know, my father was um, I don't think that my me and my father's relationship had anything to do with my sex, or the strain in our relationship had anything to do with my sexuality. And that's one thing that I can say. Now, were there outside influences? I do think that there were outside influences, but in regarding us being close, or or him being active in my life as a kid, which was very far in between. I don't think that had anything to do with my sexuality. Um, I denied it until I was about 12 to 13 years old because I kept being asked these questions. I remember from the age of 7 to about 12, 13, until by the age of 12 and 13, I was not able to hide it no more. I'm 12, 13 years old, and this is me. This is what I'm presenting to you. And for the most part, my family pretty much walked that journey and that process, and we learned together. Um, we learned about we learned together via they learning through me, and me learning through other outside resources and things like that. And there are organizations out and that have been out for years, that help with this, to help process these informations. We have PFLAGs. PFLAGs was on with us last year talking about their organization and how they help facilitate conversations surrounding parent to child, and parent to child conversations surrounding LGBT topics. Um, it is a helpful organization, and one of the things that I hate is that we don't have enough of our Black families, African American families, that knows about these organizations. And if they knew about it, how they don't believe, they don't support it because they don't understand the hey Krista, um, they don't understand they can't wrap their they cannot wrap they can't wrap their head around um the fact that their child is a part of the LGBT community. But PFLAGs is a great resource. I was able and been fortunate enough to get familiar with them inside of my adult years, and learned about them in my adult years. But I definitely wish that I knew about it when I was a kid, so that I can help my mom and my grandmother kind of get more information and kind of help guide and raise me. Um, I think one of the things that people often try to um, combine is sexuality and sexual orientation. Oh well, you're sexual, you're gay, so you want to be a woman. And I got that a lot and things like that. Um, and I think one of the things that is important to me, one of the things that I think that how I'm affected today about how I think one of the ways that I feel like I'm still affected by my childhood, as it relates to my sexuality is me holding on to me holding on and grabbing and holding on and won't let go of my masculinity, or that being challenged. I think that I still feel and still struggle with the fact that that I have to prove my masculinity to people, not necessarily to people, but to my family. My dad and things like that. I'm gonna show you how much of a man that I can be. Things like that. And I still kind of struggle with that. Not to say that that's like a struggle in regards to like as a strain in the relationship, but I do often feel like I have to prove that no matter what my sexual orientation is, I'm still a man. And then we get into that cycle of being cycle of toxic masculinity, and it becomes toxic. It becomes unauthentic in regards to who I am as a person. We all have feminine energies. We all have masculine energies. And when those energies decide to surface is when they decide to surface. And being able to try to control that is tiresome. It's tiresome as hell, honestly. But I can talk to that, right? And I can be vulnerable to you guys today and say that I often struggle with my masculinity, or how me presenting myself as masculine is important to me because it's important for my image. But I think that's something that was attached to me from my childhood because of how a man is supposed to be. A man is supposed to present himself and what a man looks like. We are often raised by how we're often, of course, our parents and stuff raise us, but society also raises us as well. And I think toxic masculinity is something that is heavily enforced in the Black community. And I feel like we need to do better in understanding feminine and masculinity energy, understanding feminine and masculinity energy in expression. That was a very vulnerable moment for me, but again, these are thoughts with Johnny today. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna eat because I'm hungry. One of the things that I also like to talk about and bring up is the gender bread man. Has anybody ever seen, do you know, the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man! So, sorry, you guys, I'm just trying to find the best picture to show you. So, hope you guys can see this. So, anytime that I'm teaching or having a discussion surrounding gender, I often like to refer to this chart here. And this is the genderbread person. And what this is helping explain is the difference. It kind of helps explain the difference between sexual orientation and sexual identity. How we identify ourselves is of the brain. There is a science component behind when an individual of a trans experience, and how their brain is more of the sex that they are yearning to be than the sex that they were born into. There is a science behind that. That is not something that people are just waking up and saying, "Oh, I want to be a woman," or that is not. It's not that. There is a science that have been that researchers have studied and shows that people or individuals of a trans experience often have the brain composition of the sex that they're looking, or the sex that they are transitioning to, over the sex that they were born in. Um, Gender identity lies within the brain. That is how we identify ourselves. That's where the identity kind of portion is held at. Um, we break it up into two categories, but now we're breaking it up into three categories. Um, right now, right, what this gingerbread person right now is outdated, so you see two, which is womanness and manness. Those two determines the gender identity, but we also have non-binary that is not included in here as well, um, which does not identify with any specific gender. Um, So it's pretty much, and this can be a spectrum of different things as well. So you see the two lines and how it's going that way. There's a dot that can be placed on where you fall in regards to your womanness and or your manness. But again, all of that kind of is held and housed in the brain. Another thing that I want to highlight is the gender expression. And if you notice, gender expression outlines the body, the entire body on the outside. Um, and what gender expression highlights, what it's saying is that how a person expresses themselves. So that's when we get into the feminine and masculine energies. And all of us have energies of the opposite. We all kind of fall on the spectrum of, feminine and masculine energies. And I think that we have to do a better job of understanding what that looks like, what that means. And just because a person presents a energy does not necessarily mean that they identify with that particular energy. So I can be a cisgendered male, means that I identify with the gender that I was born into, and have heavy female energy, or have heavy feminine energies, not female energies, but feminine energies, or express myself in a very feminine way. Does not mean that I want to be a female. It does not mean that I'm looking to transition. It does not mean any of that. That just means that I am a cisgender male that presents or that has a feminine expression. It's totally fine, totally normal. It does not coincide. It does not have to be one or the other. Um, and then you have the biological sex, and that's just the genitals that you're born with. Um, so I like to take off biological sex and say cis. And cis again just represents the gender that you were born into, and you identify with the gender that you were born into. Um, then one of the things that I also love about this is the heart. Um, and a lot of times people associate genitals with sexual orientation, and that's not true at all either. Um, and the heart is where the sexual orientation kind of lies in. Um, what are you sexually attracted to? What are you romantically attracted to? Is that women that it presents feminine energies? Is that men that present masculine energy? Is that a woman that presents masculine energies, or vice versa? Is that a man that presents feminine energies? Um, the sexual attraction has a plethora of combinations that can be incorporated in and out. So, like the heart has no bounds. You are attracted to who you're attracted to, and sometimes that may not even fit on the spectrum. One of the things I also love about this particular um, um, photo or image is that it separates who you're sexually attracted to and who you are romantically attracted to. Oftentimes, again, those two get get combined as one, and that is not correct. I can be sexually attracted to somebody and not romantically attracted to somebody, and vice versa. Um, so those two are completely separate. It doesn't mean the same. It doesn't look the same. It don't have to line up. I can be sexually attracted to masculine energy, but romantically attracted to feminine energy. Um, and again, those combinations can be a plethora of combinations in between the spectrum of how somebody identifies, what their expression looks like, and what their biological sex is. Um, I just wanted to kind of throw this out there. And if anybody wanted to kind of learn more about that, again, you can go to the gingerbread person. You can just Google it, and it'll give you a plethora of images that you can kind of look at and learn more about. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Oftentimes, I talk about healthy sexual and what that look like. I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. Um, Healthy sexual is not a brand of my own, and I so want it to be so much. But it is not a brand of my own. Healthy Sexual is actually a slogan or a brand or a campaign that Gilead put together, and I just fell in love with it. I felt like it captured who I was as a person, what I understand, what it captured, what I understand. I'm sorry, it captures what I understand. It aligned with how I talk about sexuality, um, what that looks like. Uh, so let's play a little game today. This is a dice. These are some cards. I'm going to roll this dice here. Each time I roll the dice, it's going to give me a category. My categories are, and the category is HIV, STI status, testing, wild, healthy sexual, prevention methods, relationship. That's all of them. Each of these have some facts that I'm gonna and then we're gonna talk about. So then actually they're not facts. They ask questions regarding what it means around these subjects. And I'm going to be the one to answer them, and you can feel free to participate in the chat. Please participate. Please. I got viewers. I don't know why y'all not participating. I'm rolling the I'm rolling the dice. I'm rolling the dice. I'm making sure I don't have no PHI on my desk. So it landed on HIV status, HIV STI status. So the first question that it asks is us, because we're a team. All of us are a team. What prevention options do you use to lower the risk of HIV and other STIs? If you need help with that question, I'm going to type it in the chat. What prevention options do you use So what prevention options do you use to lower your risk of HIV and other STIs? I'm gonna give y'all a second to kind of answer that in the chat for me, and we can kind of talk about it together. While you typing, I'm chatting. So for me, the prevention options the prevention options that I use to ensure that I'm lowering my risk of STIs are condoms first and foremost. And if a condom is not present, I don't do penetrative sex. So that what it looks like is me penetrating someone. I also I return to things like oral, mutual jacking, frotting. There's a new term I guess people don't really know about. It ain't really new, but people don't really know about it. But frotting is when it is the rubbing, the grinding. You remember back in the day when you ever used to hump pillows and hump towels and shit? It's pretty much like that. You know, a lot of foreplay. So those are things that I do to ensure that I'm lowering my risk when a condom is not present. Feel free again to type your answers in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and keep this moving. I can't believe I'm doing an hour show by myself. I feel like Wendy Williams. How you doing? Shout it out. How you doing? All right, so I am back to rolling my dice. I just did that category. Stop cheating. All right. So it is at testing. Testing. All right. So the question is, when is the last time you was tested for an STI, including HIV? When was the last time you were tested for an STI? The last time that I was tested for an STI, including HIV, was Monday of last week. That was the last time that I was tested for an STI. So that was the question for that. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this moving right along because y'all are not participating like I would like y'all to, but I know y'all there. I can see y'all. I see you. I see that you guys are watching me, but whatever. I almost lost my dice. Stop looking at my crotch. You're nasty. Prevention methods is the next category. So, prevention method is the next category. And the question is, what is your favorite prevention method? So, I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. My favorite prevention method is frotting. That is my favorite prevention method. It's frotting. I love to frot. I love that grinding action. Frotting. You don't know what frotting is? Look it up. F-R-O-T-T. F-R-O-T for frottage. F-R-O-T-T-E-G-E. Look it up. Frot. Okay. I'm gonna roll this dice. Keep it right along because y'all not participating like I want y'all to. I will survive. I will survive. I don't want HIV and STI status. You know what? I'm gonna make an executive decision, and I'm gonna go to relationships. As I said it. The question that is asking me is, how do you feel about different relationship styles? Example, monogamous, polyamorous, open. For me, I'm pretty open and don't really have a specific style that I prefer, honestly and truly. I like it all. I like the if I feel like that I am in a relationship that can handle a poly relationship, then we would take that route. I feel like I'm in a relationship that can't handle that. It ain't something that my partner would like, then I can take that route as well. If we're in an open relationship, it's totally fine. I think it's all about communicating what are your what are your no's? What are your I can't handles? Because other word I'm looking for, but I can't find. Hopefully, I just got a haircut, but I need a haircut again. I want to sit on it. So tell me why you deserve it. Come on and prove why I should move. Speed on it. Okay. That is one nasty song. But I do want to go over some of the things we got coming up over the next couple of weeks. So as you know, and if you don't know, you're hiding up under somebody's rock. There is a major ball taking place in the Carolinas that the West is throwing and putting on. That is next Saturday, and I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited to be involved in that, Rain, to be involved in that in some capacity. We appreciate them reaching out and getting us involved in some capacity. Um, there are a couple of health expos that are going to be happening that same weekend that Rain is going to be doing. Um, and then I think the week following that is Pride weekend, Black Pride weekend. And while we may not have a visual presence at most of the events, we will be present at all of the events, whether that's the town hall, whether that's um, the showcase. We're going to make sure that we're there and present and support our people. We're also going to, we will be present at the expo that takes place on Saturday. Um, Also, if you don't know, actually. I also want to let you know that we are having, Rain is throwing a pool party. And the pool party is going to be the party that Dan Mooney used to throw, the LGBT takeover. And to honor Dan Mooney and all of the work that he's done, we're going to be continuing that tradition of the LGBT takeover and throwing the pool party. The pool party will be at the La Meridian, and I'm about to put up the flyer now, so give me a second. I'm putting up the flyer now, so give me a moment. So it's the takeover pool party, honoring again Dan Mooney. It's going to be on July 18th between 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. It is going to be the weekend of Black Pride, so I'm looking for my people to come out and support. Um, I don't think that there's going to be anything happening that time frame for a Black Pride event. So again, this is a free time for you guys to come out and enjoy the pool. We're trying our best to get people behind it. I actually need to be posting this to um, Destiny Production and Meltdown. Hopefully, you guys don't have anything going on as well that you can come and support and bring your crowd out. We want to make sure that this is a fun event. This is the same event that again that used to take place 2 years ago, and we used to be out at the La Meridian Hotel, or some people still call it the Sheraton Hotel. Well, I think it's combined in some capacity, and we used to be out there in the pool and having a good time and just enjoying ourselves. Come out. We're back. And bring and bring some dollars so you can donate. Yeah, bring some dollars so you can donate. Well, I'm about to wrap tonight up. I've been on here for 50 minutes talking to you guys about absolutely nothing, but about everything. So again, thank you for rocking it out with me tonight. Thank you for watching my endless rants of nothingness that may have resulted into somethingness. I appreciate all of you for watching. I'm about to return to getting some spreadsheets and stuff ready for a report that I'm doing. I did not want to leave you guys hanging tonight. For the loyal people that watch every single week, I do want to give you a reminder that we're going to be moving to a platform of 2 weeks. I mean, every 2 weeks, or a schedule, I should say, for every 2 weeks as opposed to every week. So be looking out for that. That's going to start July the 8th. So the topic that was supposed to be presented today will be presented for July the 8th, and so on. Okay. So again, don't forget about the pool party that's taking place on Sunday, July 18th. That is in the same weekend as Black Gay Pride. If you don't got your tickets to go to the West Ball, please get your tickets so you can go and I can see you there. That's all I got for you tonight. But that's all, folks.
Since everyone is at risk for HIV, getting tested can be an incredibly scary moment. 2 different outcomes can lead them down 2 different paths. One path could be the most devastating news that they could have heard. The other, a wake-up call. This can be an extremely difficult and scary time, but there is hope. Whether the test is positive or negative, they can find hope and compassion at RAINN. RAINN is a place where there is no judgment, where one can find help such as medical case management, help enrolling in health insurance, safe housing, food insecurity support, transportation to appointments, and mental health counseling where you will be treated like family. RAINN is a place where your test result never defines who you are, and where you'll find the support and tools you need to live a happy and fulfilling life. 2 different test results may take you down 2 different paths, but RAINN is here to make sure those paths end in the same place.
Live fully with or without HIV.
Thank you for watching tonight. And last but not least, I want to make sure I let you guys know that. Oh, hey, Lachelle. Hey, boo. One last thing before we go tonight. Y'all know how I like to end it. Getting tested is what? Sexy.